Good afternoon, it's Tony again from Paranormal Investigation UK, and we're once again looking at a piece of footage. This is movie 287, dated the 23rd of January 2021. Today's date is the 8th, I think. Yes, it's the 8th of February. So, this unusual case in Chester has been experiencing multiple noises, sounds, voices, raps over quite a long period. This particular case is beginning to get reported of March 2020. We got hold of the case in May of last year, 2020, and I've been investigating it since. There are periods where the phenomena appears to flatline for a given number of days before springing back into action, and the 23rd of January was no exception to that. For the lead up to that, 23rd was a Saturday. The previous Monday to Friday, that's 5 full days solid, the building produced no CCTV alarms at all. There are about 7 or 8 now, can't remember the exact number what it is, of cameras that are installed in the building. Also overseeing the outside of the building to make just to rule out any human interaction. And on the 23rd, the only person in the building was at the far end of the building to the left of this footage, which is the owner. He contacted me at 11 minutes past 6. This is about 30-40 minutes after this particular movie, to say that he was experiencing multiple alarms on the CCTV system. Got him to go into the room to check for any sort of infestation, anything fallen, that type of thing, which would be difficult because the room, as you can see, is completely devoid of everything. There's nothing in there at all, and nothing was found. Certainly no bears, squirrels, infestation, that type of stuff. And we haven't got an explanation for it. The rats are very particularly seem to have a unique signature. There don't seem to be any spread of frequency whatsoever. Very, very unusual, and I think this is what categorises it as being strange and possibly paranormal, compared to where you've got human interaction. For example, an impact that's done by a human, the frequency appears to it is completely different. It's how you would expect it. So we seem to be dealing, there was one particular, I think it was around about 18 to 20 videos came in over a very given period of about 18 minutes. Give an example. There's one loud thump that started it at 16:30. It could be a one-off thing, that, and then it started. And this is a room that's been quiet for 5 days, sprung into action. 1722, 9 high volume raps. 2 minutes later, 3. We're dealing with this one there, 1725 now. Then a minute after, this 6. A couple of minutes later, 5. Then it's 3 minutes later, 3, and so on and so forth. It seems to power up and then begin to dissipate. This is the theory I'm running at the moment, but I've got a lot more running like really halfway through them, so I'll be interested to see when they stack up. I'm actually putting these in time order. So we're seeing a mixture of different cams as well. Cam 2, cam 1, cam 2, cam 2, cam 1. We'll see how it does actually break up. This particular camera that we're using in the review of today is camera 2. Camera 1's on the other side of the room, on top of the kitchen surface. So right, let's get straight into this one, see where it goes. I'm gonna bring some EQ up just in case. I'm not amplifying at all. and I'm almost certainly going to need some form of analyzer, so we'll slot that in there ready for when we need to. I can see that's what's triggered the camera. That's quite a loud one. There's obviously one there as well, about 9 seconds. 3 seconds is what triggers the camera. It remembers 3 seconds before, saves that footage, and 50 seconds later. And anything after that or between it is just accidental captures that the volume of visual sighting is not strong enough for the camera to recognise that as an event and record it. So this will be quite loud, so there's a reason why I'm not going to use any form of amplification. Those that are following this carefully will see we're going to do a screenshot of that, almost certainly for that, because that's the sound as well. We'll just see where it takes us. In fact, there's something before it. There's a sound before it. That's what's triggered it, and because it's say 3 seconds before, it captures that as well. That's accidental. That's a loud one, and there seems to be another sound there as well. Right, okay, this could be quite an interesting one. Right, okay, so what I want to do is look at that one first, and look at that section, because there's quite a lot of work to do really. We've got 4 events here in 11 seconds, so we need to get all these recorded before we move back on to the rest of it. For those that do this type of thing, always have a notepad to hand and start recording. If you're dealing with multiple sounds, don't ever try to use memory to remember them. Just write them all down, and you then copy that data back onto your main reporting document, which is in my case is this: high volume, low volume, bouncing raps, sounds like rap or voice, unusual sound, and a miscellaneous. And I'll record that quite exact, and it's surprising when you take the time and effort to do that. It can give you quite important information. Right, so let's look at this first section. Yeah, it's quite a low sound. On normal sound, and what I mean by that is no amplification. If I can't get a fix on it because the signal's just too low, he says, right, okay, it's not too low, it's actually got it there. Okay, right, so we will class that as a high volume rap. And now what I'm going to do is snip, take a screenshot of this. The cameras are okay with sounds up to about 35 feet, then they get very, very difficult to pick anything up. So I think it's within the building. Right, so it is this rap, this signature. 500, it used to be 1,000, it seems to be around about 1,100 now, so we've got quite a tight frequency of 750 to about 1,100 hertz. Okay, so what we do now, we'll move on to the second one. Okay, to make sure we get all the frequency captured. This natural decay, which is quite important. And again, 600, probably 1400 hertz. Just seems to, this last couple of months, the frequency seems to move slightly to the right. Not by much. It used to be 500 to 1000 a peak like that, and it seems to just move to the right hand side. I certainly haven't got an explanation for this. I certainly wish I did. Right, okay. And I think that I'm just going to cover this silence here. Pick that one up. There may be nothing in there. We'll mark that last one off as a high volume wrap. Okay. I'm just going to turn it over. I just want to make sure there's nothing captured within the silence. No. Okay. A little bit different, but again we're still in the same area. It's certainly not like microphones that like a unique microphone, because we have the same responses on a Zoom, a Roland, a Line 6, 3 different types of Olympus, and must be another 3 or 4 different types of cheaper ones. So we've tried at least about 10, maybe 12 different recorders, and it always gives this frequency response. It's not a microphone issue. Okay, so we can call that wrap 3. Just bear in mind that this building is monitored with multiple cameras, stairway, outside, rear building, front building. If anyone's causing this, we would have picked that up, I can assure you, and we haven't. So, okay. That's them. That one out of the way. Just got one more here. That's a really strange one. Let's see what we've got a second. It's almost the point of formulating words, but it sounds like someone's striking something. There we go. And that's wrap 4. 4 very, very strong sounds there. Often with this building you get quite a number, which is just not enough to get a fix on the frequency, but no doubt them first 4 have been fine. Okay. What we're now going to do, got rid of that considerable amount of capture. I'm going to turn the volume up now. Can't see anything else in there. And we'll go listen to the rest of it, see if there's anything there that might be of interest. We're also going to use the look at the video at the same time, make sure, absolutely certain there's nothing visual that's been captured. Right. Turn that down. Barely being picked up, barely. But we're going to class that, as long as I can see a frequency within the spectrum on normal volume, no amplification whatsoever, I will class that as a high volume rap. And you would most likely hear that if you're actually in the room itself. So that's another one. So can't get a fix on that, so I can't take a screenshot. So okay, now I'm going to turn it back up. Is there something that falls out? When you start amplifying it, especially by the levels I'm doing, you will always introduce sound, so you just got to be careful that it's not a sound that you've introduced yourself. And let's go a little bit higher. See, this is what's happened now, is I've introduced some bass frequency. I need to get rid of that. Okay, it'll disappear if I turn it down to 0. Yeah, just lifting now. What I'll do is just take that out. You can see the frequency to about 50 Hertz, so just so it doesn't become too bothersome. It's not a frequency I'm particularly interested in, so I don't mind taking that out. Okay. It's a loud one. Yeah, there seems to be a couple of separate sounds there. Okay. There we go. Okay, another loud rap. always within this area. Quite strange. What I've also seen is, particularly since December, is not much visual. We had numerous visual anomalies to deal with, not an awful lot. About 5. Okay. We'll stop there a second. Cue back up. Take the loop off and go again now. No matter how tempting it is to ignore certain sounds, it's critical that you do measure and record these down, even though that one's the first low volume rep. Nothing on there at all. So we'll record that as the first low volume. Turn it back up. And loop off and go to the next part. And I'm just halfway through. Looks like a series here. Wow. Tell you what, let's just go listen to. Let's just. Let's just watch the rest of this video and I can get rid of that completely now. Pretty good for what should have been a silent room. Okay. Turn the volume back down. Get the first one. That's probably one of the loudest ones so far now. Again, as you can see, it's this particular frequency. No matter which part of the room it comes from, because you got to remember this sound is actually moves around. Either camera 1 picks it up or camera 2 picks it up and bounces it about all over the place. It's not the same thing from exactly the same location it's doing it. It's something different, which I can't get my head round. Right, so that's quite a loud one. What we do now, we can actually see this there. There we have it. No volume. Same frequency again. Yeah, it sounds completely different. It's like 2 there, isn't there? I'll call it bouncing rap. I do have a column for that. 2, some people argue 3 raps. Yeah, I think it's 2. And because they're very quick on these bouncing raps, quite a strange one. Right. Take the loop off. There's another something there. Looks quite low volume. Yeah. Yeah. There's another one. We'll have one. It's critical when you're investigating any particular type of phenomena that you don't get lazy. Keep measuring, keep recording. Because this sort of stuff can get a little bit tedious and boring. Right, just turn the volume back up and just do the final 12 seconds or so. Sounds voicious, that, doesn't it? I've been so much background noise with it. It looks to be in UK. There's quite a number of voices there. Okay. What I can do is I've actually got a column which I call possible rap stroke EVP voice, that type of thing. I'm going to slot it in there, and what I'll do is when I've ended the video, I'm actually going to save this section and do another audible file on it, just to see if my colleagues can pick anything up. It's just there for posterity. If someone listens to it and wants just that section that's sampled, I've actually got it in the box ready. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's the end of movie 287, and I shall see you on before we go actually. let me just give you the results of this. We've got a possible EVP, which you've just heard. We've got this bouncing rap in there. We've got one low volume rap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 high volume raps. So in total 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got a 60-second piece of video, so it's one every 10 seconds. Yeah. Okay, right, I shall see you on the next movie.